All right, welcome y'all to the show. Hey, what's shaking? So, really quick, I just want to set the record straight. There are 11 states that are being accused of banning RV sales. And I'm tired of people saying that that is the case. That is not the case. That is a lie. No state is banning RV sales. However, we can thank the state of California for creating legislation that is going to slow the production down. Now, there's a difference between saying, no, you can't have, versus manufacturers have to manufacture X percentage over the next how many years of non-emission vehicles. That's what it is. It's not a ban on RVs. You're still going to be able to get them. And there is some workarounds. And we've talked about that in previous podcasts. But here on Uncensored, I want to bring it to the forefront and talk about it for what it is. The reality is this: you are still going to be able to purchase RV sales in every state in the union. What will happen is states like California and its 10 other cronies that joined on this bandwagon are going to restrict manufacturers from producing fossil fuel emitted vehicles by a certain percentage. So if they produce 100 vehicles in a year, the first year it might be 5 or 6% of that 100 has to be non-emission. And then every year that percentage grows. As the percentage grows, the demand will not change, because let's just face it, this is circling around to dealing with commercial vehicles and their emissions. Well, the RV market is so small, we're probably not going to be able to be affected. Number one, we're not going to buy it, which means they're not going to take the RV market and lump it into those numbers. That's still going to be separate, and who's going to be most affected are the people that require it for work. Your commercial truck drivers, commercial trucking companies. Those are the ones that's got to be, really pissed off, angry, and upset behind this foolishness, because they are going to have to pay more for non-emission vehicles and then pay out the nose for vehicles that are emissioned. They're in a lose-lose. Now, who ultimately pays for that? You and I, because there's not a Walmart, Target, or Amazon in the world. No warehouse functions without trucking. That's just what it is. So if the trucking industry gets hit by these regulations, it ultimately falls on us as RVers, but is not going to affect the cost or availability of motorhomes. So all of these people out here saying that, I need you to stop and set the record straight. They are not banning anything. They're simply saying that the manufacturer has to produce certain percentage of their production as non-emission vehicles. That's what they're saying. Now, do I like it? No. Are trucking companies gonna like it? Hell no. But it is what it is. So they won't be able to sell in that state if they don't meet these requirements. So what may end up happening is, if trucking companies decide that, like, we're going to pick on Peterbilt and Freightliner. Let's say they say, I'm not going to try to meet these requirements because it costs too much. I won't sell any trucks in California. Then in that case, you might not be able to buy Fleetwood chassis. Any motorhome on a Fleetwood chassis, you might not be able to buy it there. Unfortunately, this also spills over into Ford. This spills over into Ford Motor Company, because most gas motorhomes are sitting on Ford F-53 chassis. And so if they say that Ford has to do the same thing, they could potentially say, you know what? I'm not selling any trucks. Well, let's just face it. Do you really think the state of California can live without an F-150? If they stop selling vehicles, or heavy-duty commercial vehicles, it is a strong possibility that they will attempt to pull out of the market completely, because Ford Motor Company abandoned their automobile industry and went strictly to making electric vehicles and truck chassis vehicles. So I don't think that this is going to go but so far. Somebody's going to challenge it. Somebody's court is going to have to hear this. And the reality and the bottom line is the Biden era administration, who allowed some of this to go through, like slipping through various legislation that allowed California to kind of sort of be more strict than the federal government. A lot of that's going to get challenged. So just sit back and wait. Like, just hold your horses on it. RVs are not going anywhere. I promise you that. What will go somewhere is this silly legislation, especially like states like Massachusetts that picked up, New York picked up, Maryland tried to pick it up. Let me tell you something. That is not going to fly. It's not going to fly. The RV industry is not centralized in Maryland, where your blue areas are, like Baltimore City, parts of Anne Arundel and Howard County, PG County, Montgomery County. Your RV community is outside of that. 90% of the RVs that are sold and kept are going to be in red counties in Maryland. They are not going to go for that. And if you think that the small percentage compared to those blue areas in Maryland have a chance, listen, the money might be in Montgomery County, but there's more in the 20 other counties that are not blue. They're not going to mess with it. They're not. Sit tight. As this develops, I promise to update this, but I needed to set the record straight and put it out there. RV sales are not being banned. Let me say that again. They are not being banned. Take my word for it. I'm out of here.
Be sure to join us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and you can always catch us on Facebook and YouTube. Hanging with the Hazes.